A lot of people have expressed concerns about camping in places where they may encounter bears. Like most fears, our perceptions are worse than the reality, and we can do a lot of things to reduce the risk. In this video, I'm going to give you just 2 rules and 1 suggestion for camping safely in bear country. My name is Peter, and I've been riding motorcycles for over 50 years. Every year I take at least 1 motorcycle camping trip and 1 backpacking trip. Subscribe and join me on my adventures. Let's start with the facts, because our fears usually exceed reality. I spent hundreds of nights in the bush, both in campgrounds and in more remote places over the last few decades. I've only once seen a bear near my campsite, and that was when I was 21, young and stupid, breaking both of the rules I'm about to provide you. All my photos of bears have been taken along the road or at a distance. Most of the time, my bear sightings have been too brief to even photograph. There are 2 main types of bears you could encounter in North America. Black bears exist in most rural areas in Canada and in many parts of the United States. You don't have to go far out of the city to find black bears. Here's one that was gorging on an unpicked fig tree just a few houses down the road from my home. However, compared to their original territory, the places where black bears live is greatly reduced from their historical range. Grizzly bears had a much smaller historic territory, and it's even smaller today. Alaska brown bears and Kodiak bears are varieties of grizzly that have specific geographic ranges. The differences between these species are not important to this video, because your practices to avoid bear problems in camp are going to be the same regardless of what type of bear occupies the territory where you are camping. Bear attacks happen for only 2 reasons: food and safety. I'm talking about the bear's safety, disturbing a bear when you're out on a trail. Bears only come into your camp looking for food, unless you have a dog that has provoked the bear into a defensive attack. So, keep dogs on a leash or tied up. That's not one of the rules I'm going to give you. Consider it a bonus. Let's start with a little math. Someone conveniently keeps a list of fatal bear attacks on a Wikipedia page. If you're nervous about camping, this list might freak you out, but so would looking at a list of the average of 600 motorcycle fatalities per year in the US. Let's put it in perspective. On average, there are 3 fatalities per year from bears in North America. This includes all species of bears in all locations. Only about 1/3 of bear fatalities happen at campsites, cabins, or residences. 2/3 happen to people who are hiking or working in the bush. How to hike safely is not the focus of this video, so I'm only looking at the 1 fatality per year that happens where someone is staying. I don't know how to estimate how many people are sleeping outdoors in bear country in any given night, but there are over 16,000 sites in US national parks, which in my experience are mostly occupied. I'm using June 1st to August 31st as my dates, so this number is conservative. That means 16,000 sites times 90 nights equals 1.5 million nights in national parks. Let's say they're the same number of people sleeping outside who are not in national parks. So that's 3 million sites occupied per year. And most people have another person with them, so that's 6 million people sleeping outside in any summer. There's probably a lot more, but I'm just looking for ballpark figures. 1 death per year divided by 6 million nights out. That means 1 chance in 6 million of dying from a bear attack. So your odds of dying in a motorcycle accident are about 10,000 times greater than dying from a bear attack in your campsite. Of course, we can take steps to reduce our personal risk on the motorcycle by wearing helmets and other safety gear, by getting appropriate training and licensing, and by not using alcohol when riding. Similarly, we can reduce the risk of bear attack by taking some simple steps. Here's where my 2 rules come in. Rule number 1, don't eat where you sleep. I chose this space way at the end of the camp. It's laundry day. I don't know if you can see the laundry now. Got my stuff, I have my tent way far from my food. There's some bins way down there to put your food in. Rule number 2. Store and dispose of food and garbage properly. On the bike, I keep my food in separate panniers from my clothing and sleeping items. This is harder to do when backpacking because you have a single backpack. But I always try to keep food in Ziploc bags inside other storage bags. Then I can place the storage bags with all the food and cooking equipment in the food storage area. Some organizations recommend that you store the clothes you cooked and ate in with your food. To be honest, I've never done this. When backpacking, I just don't have lots of clothes to change into, and unless there are spacious food lockers, it's not practical or even possible to store your clothes with the food. However, I usually hang my backpack or leave my pannier outside the tent. There are 3 main ways to store food in campgrounds. Many campgrounds have bear poles or bear-proof lockers. Use them and remove your garbage. Bear poles will usually have steel cables with a hook on the end attached to a pulley. Just hook your bag on and haul it up. In remote locations, you may have to find a tree branch to throw a rope over, which is not as easy as it sounds. Today there are bear-proof containers that are required in some locations. Place your food into the container and screw the top down, and the bear can't carry it away. These containers don't seem practical for motorcycle travel, but you can also get bear-proof bags that you can attach to a tree. Those are our 2 rules. The only reason a bear will come into your campsite is to get food. Almost all the time, it's your food that the bear wants. But rarely, the bear might think of you as food. So, despite doing everything right, it's still possible that you need a final line of defense. That's where bear spray comes in. Think of bear spray as your protective gear. You probably won't need it, and others do without it all the time without consequence. But if you ever need it, you want it to be in position to do its job. I've never needed a motorcycle helmet. In 50 years, I've never come off a bike and hit my head on the ground. Nonetheless, I wear a helmet, even where it is not required by law. Similarly, I've never needed to use or even pull out my bear spray, but I always keep it at hand when I'm in bear country. In Canada, bear spray costs around $60, and the recommended shelf life is 3 years. I'm not going to go into the use of bear spray. There are experts with videos out there. I'll link to one in the show notes. As I said, I've never had to use my bear spray, and I hope I never have to. I place my bear spray in my boot within reach when I sleep, so I can easily grab it if I need it in the night. I hope you see that camping in bear country is no more dangerous than camping anywhere else. No matter where you go, there are dangers and ways to make sure you remain safe. Thanks for watching.